Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Wonderful.
We are we're getting close. We got one period left to practice. That's about a 10-minute period. Then they'll stretch. So my guess is we're probably looking about 10:45. So just keep on, and once we get him, I'll give you a little bit of a heads up as we're walking off, and we'll knock this thing down. Most of you probably already saw. We're changing out Okafor today, and we're gonna go with Travis Kelce. So yeah, we'll do Kelce and Tyrann, and then Tedric Thompson, and that'll be our day today. And then tomorrow, I'll get you guys names tonight for what we got going tomorrow.
Cool.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
Hey, Brad.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. What order are you gonna do? Andy first.
Yeah, coach will be first, and then after that, it'll be a little bit of a wait and see. So,
Okay.
Hopefully it's Travis first, but I'm gonna let he and Tyrann fight it out, and I'm not gonna get in the middle of that. So,
All right. Thanks, man.
yep.
Hey, Vahe,
Hey, yeah.
what'd you do? Shave? Take the beard off?
I just walked through a laser shower, and look what happened.
I like
You're-
I've been trying
left-
for years to be more like you, and now here you go, and you changed the game plan.
Well, you're left standing on your own, Tyrann. I don't know what to tell you, but I have a feeling it might be back like within hours.
I think there's no going back for me. I don't see this face getting any thinner, so we're gonna have to do something to cover the fat face. Coupled with it's like a lot easier to not shave all the time, so there's no going back for me.
I have wondered about the number of chins that it turns out I have. So trying to set the zoom lighting properly.
Get the camera up in the air.
Also, it
I don't know.
turns out my wife likes me better with the mask, the beard mask on. So
Yeah.
what can you say?
Good times.
I'd like to see you clean shaven though.
Hasn't happened since 1994.
And dare I ask what was the precipitating event?
A fat face and lazy.
Just eureka.
Yeah. The goatee's in? Oh, good. I'm in for life.
Well, laziness is a strong force.
Yeah, no kidding. Are you traveling anywhere? Like on for work?
Well, gosh, haven't really. I guess we're figuring out the upsides to where to go and what's to be gained.
Right.
I think we'd go somewhere if we could find the right cause and gauge the safety correctly. Probably, I have yet to be on a plane. I don't know. I'm gathering though from some friends that have that it's pretty all right. I mean, most of the airlines have it set up right, but it's just all the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Plus, where you're going, who you're trying to see.
Exactly.
Oh, here's Brad G.
There goes Brad.
Like I'd like to go see my dad in New York, but he's 86, and how I get there makes me wonder about how safe I am going there for him.
The airlines are the cleanest now that you'll probably ever get them to be.
That's true, the cleanest, but probably also not perfect. And then I pick up checkpoints and taxi cabs and.
How we doing, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
We can hear and see you.
Beautiful.
Probably also the cheapest you're gonna be able to travel to, Vahe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price is right, huh?
Like I don't know. I can't even imagine when the next time I'm going to be on a plane is, which is weird because it's usually like, not as much as you guys on the paper, but I take all the trips for the station. So there's like 4 or 5 every year just for that.
Yeah.
Then there's the family stuff for like 2 or 3 more.
Does anybody know Steven Andres? Andres?
Never
Steven
heard
Andres?
of him.
Oh,
No?
not offhand.
Yeah, Brad. He's with radio.com. He's the video editor. So he's doing it for 610 with us.
Okay, perfect. I'm letting him in. All right. If you don't have permission to record, let me know. I think I've got everybody, and I think Luke got everybody before. All right. If everybody can mute their lines just for a second here till we get rolling. All right, guys, I think coach is come up to the podium here in a second. Hi, coach. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you bet. So let me give you the injury update. So Frank Clark has had a little bit of a stomach virus, so he's been sick. It's not COVID. And then Darius Harris is been excused for personal reasons. Keys had an orbital fracture that he got actually before he got here. I think you know about Martinez and Thornhill and Keys. They're the same that we've had with PUP and NFI. So and then Lawrence again is excused for personal reasons, and then Yelder has a slight groin strain, so he's working through that. Listen, I just wanted to shout out to Howard Mudd's family. Howard was a great chief as a coach, great mentor to me. And then I actually had a chance to hire him when I was in Philadelphia as my line coach. Phenomenal football coach, Hall of Fame football coach, and nobody did better. But my thoughts and prayers are with his family, his wife Shirley, and the kids. So that's a tough situation, and I've had a chance to visit with Shirley, and they're bearing down through it. So, but tough times to them, and they can use all our prayers. Good to get changing the subjects here. So good to get the guys back into pads and going. It's been a bit of time, but we've had a great ramp up period with them. These guys have worked extremely hard. They came out today and worked extremely hard with the pads on and with some heat out there. And I'm proud of them for that. Their attitude obviously is important, and they've got a good one right now. So that's what we've got. Time's yours.
Go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. Wanted to ask you about Travis's deal. What's it like for you to have him for the long term now? But also, first Pat, Chris Jones, and now Travis. I mean, these guys seem like they want to stay. Now the Chiefs are stepping up financially, obviously. But is there anything else about what you guys have going on here that kind of leads you to leads guys to want to stay, you think?
Well, listen, my hat goes off to Clark Hunt. That's where it starts, and his support, and Brett Veach and Brett's crew, and and working these deals and getting it done. And then, listen, we appreciate the players and their attitude, and these are good guys, but they're good football players that like to play the game, and so you enjoy being around those guys, and you're proud of the effort that they put into wanting to stay, and then obviously from my standpoint, just Brett and again his crew for getting it done.
Let's go to Tyrann Petro. Go ahead, Tyrann.
Coach, I asked you this a couple sessions ago, and I don't know. I think you kind of missed my point on where I was going with it. Can you, being that you were one of the guys that was instrumental in how, or at least in the conversation on how things are going to be run, can you, number one, tell me how much time you guys talked about or spent on the idea of having a bubble, of trying to bring all the teams to 1 or 2 or 3 locations and try to perform this season that way? And then secondly, was the subject ever brought up with your value to the organization? And also, no offense, like most of us getting older, right? Was there ever any discussion about you maybe not opting out, but maybe taking a role where you're not in the building and not around as much? Were there just any conversations ever broached by whether it was Clark or Brett or yourself on that subject as well?
The latter part, no. The first part, they had all those discussions before I was ever asked to be involved with it. So the fact that that's not the direction they wanted to go. I thought they had a good plan. They had input from both the union and the league, and it seemed like they were communicating well the opportunities that I had to be there. And it looks like a solid plan up to this point. So, like everybody else, we're taking it day by day, but I think the players understand that it's being well done here. But like all of us, coaches included here, we've got to be smart as we leave and how we handle ourselves, and just make sure we know kind of who we're hanging with and where they've been.
Let's go to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach. Good up. I guess it is still morning. Good morning. 2 questions here for you, specific to players. Edwards-Helaire, and obviously you got a chance to see him before the pads came on, and then how impressed were you what you saw with him today? And then the second one is on Tedric Thompson, a former starter with the Seattle Seahawks. How much do you view him as a plug-and-play kind of guy, especially in light of Juan Thornhill's situation?
Yeah, well, I'll start with Tedric. I mean, at the end there, we think he's a good football player. I'd like to just see more with him, have an opportunity to work in this system, but he's got good tape that we were able to evaluate. It's just a matter of getting everything down to where he feels comfortable with it. And then Clyde has been doing a lot of work with the first group, and so that's valuable work for him. Is everything perfect? No, not right now, but he's working like crazy to get it there, and he's got a good attitude about it.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. I'm writing something about Tyrann, and I just wonder if you could describe what distinguishes his leadership and what it meant to you guys last year. And part of that also is, how is it being applied this year in these obviously different circumstances?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal leader. I mean, he's just it's hard to learn to be a leader. It's something that normally you innately have, and you've got to, I always say that good leaders, they need to keep their closet clean on their end and make sure they're doing the right things, or you're not going to be able to lead the right way. So I think he handles that, his life the right way, and how he goes about his business here the right way. And so if people need a little boost, he can give it to them. He talks to himself at the same time. He's a unique guy. I've enjoyed the 1 year that I've had to spend with him, and look forward to the future here.
Let's go to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. Wondering, you've talked about just the difficulty in repeating after winning. I know you don't view it maybe as repeating or defending anything, but did you do any research at all for other teams and what they've gone through, and maybe what's worked and what hasn't? And if so, what'd you learn? And if not, I'm just wondering on your own, what do you sort of get at the importance, or how do you maintain an edge still?
Yeah, well, it's important to be able to do that for sure. The edge, to stay humble and keep working hard, I think, are important also. I was lucky enough to be on a team that went to back-to-back Super Bowls. We won the first one, lost the second one. And then I had a chance to be lucky enough to be on teams that went to quite a few championships and a few in a row. So there's a tremendous amount of urgency that goes into that, and attention to detail. You hear coaches say this, but it's real if you want to if you want to play at that level. And there are a bunch of different things, obstacles that you have to go through during a season. I think it's no more evident than the one we just had. And so you've got to have the right mindset, and you literally have to take today and work on it to try to get myself better, and do it each play, and then do it tomorrow. And then you keep building that until you have opportunities to play games. And when you get into games, whether you win or lose, you've got to make sure that you learn and continue to grow from those games. And then on top of that, every once in a while, you need to catch a break here or there. That ball's not round; it bounces funny, and you hope it bounces your way, and you get a couple breaks in there. But the attention to detail becomes a huge thing for you, and be willing to work.
Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, I was curious about Travis and his deal, and we've watched him sort of grow from this fiery young rookie to a little bit more mature as he got his second contract, and now is actually one of the older guys in the team. And from your point of view, just what it's been like to watch him grow as both one of the better tight ends in the league and really one of the leaders on your team.
Yeah, well, just the fact that he's been voted captain the last playoff captain the last couple years, 3 years, I think probably says everything. He has grown. I mean, we've watched him. Everybody has here grow before their eyes, fans included, and he still though comes to work every day wanting to get better, and so you love that part of him. He brings energy every day. I've been lucky enough to coach he and his brother, and they're both that way. They're just they're wired where they want to be the best, but yet enjoy playing the game like no other, like you're playing in the backyard type thing. So yeah.
Let's go to Adam Orduna. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking a few minutes here. Kind of a different angle here. Talking about Jordan Ta'amu and what he might be able to offer for the quarterback room, no preseason games. What have you seen from him, and what would he be able to offer? Does he remind you of Patrick at all? Does he kind of have the same arm angles? What do you see from him as a young guy that might be able to maybe push for a spot here?
Yeah, tough time to come in as a quarterback in a year like this, but Jordan's worked his tail off, and it's evident to all of us that he has spent the time working. And so we have a lot of words that are calculating these plays that you got to be able to spit out in a short period of time. And he does that well. And then he's strong. He's a strong body, and he's got a strong mind. And that normally is that normally leads to good things. Now, how many reps is he going to get during this time? We're short on practices for the year. These first 5 practices, we're short on time, period, on the field. So he might not get as much time as we ramp up here, but his time will come down the road, but sure love his attitude.
All right, guys, we've got time for a couple more. Let's go Nate and then finish with Herbie. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to ask you, in terms of Patrick, obviously third year going into camp, just what are you most looking from him this year in ways that maybe he can get better in terms of just leading the offense? And are there things that you guys have discussed that you want him to sort of identify and sort of work on during camp as you ramp up to the regular season?
Yeah, so it's been great for him up to this point, and where you always put in a few new wrinkles. Now you get to do it against a defense. And so he's powering through those. He's kind of learning what he can get away with and what he can't. Not worried about interceptions or anything else. I've told you that before. Now's the time to figure out the play and what you can do with it. And so that's what he's doing. And at the same time, we're continuing to practice the plays that he knows, but we're really trying to get a lot of work on the new things. So he has a chance to massage those and learn those.
Let's go to Herbie to close it out. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, this is kind of a big picture question here. Pac-12, Big Ten canceling their football seasons from a coaching point of view. How does that affect how you guys approach scouting this year? And what kind of word of encouragement would you give to those conferences?
Yeah, well, it sounds like they're working everything out right now, and I'm sure there are reasons why. They got a lot of smart people there. So I'm not sure of all the details of it. I'm not involved with that at all. It will add another challenge, I think, to our scouting department on evaluating players, but they'll work it out just like everybody else will, and go forward. But I got to tell you, Herbie, I'm kind of more focused on this than that. But I do have a son that's a coach, so a strength coach at one of the colleges. So I'm a bit aware of it. Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Thanks, guys. Yep.
All right, guys. I believe we've got Travis coming up next, so hang tight. All right, guys. It will be Travis coming up next year. All right. Hey, Trav, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, let's start off with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, congratulations on the new deal. Wanted to ask you, from your own standpoint, why it was so important. Looks like you're probably going to be able to finish your career here. Why that's so important to you, number one. Number two, it was Pat, it was Chris Jones, now you. I mean, obviously the Chiefs are stepping up financially to some extent here, but why? What's going on here? Is it just the winning, or what else? What else are reasons for guys wanting to stay with the Chiefs right now?
I think there's a lot of reasons, man, and it's one is because we got great guys in the locker room, we got great guys in the facility, great people in the facility, and it's just overall it's a fun atmosphere every single time you come to work, and guys don't want to leave that. Guys want to keep building off of that, and it's a beautiful thing when you have ownership trust in you, want to make change with you in terms of the season and the community. And then on top of that, just going out there and playing football with guys who come to work every single day and fight their tail off for you, man. It's a beautiful thing. And you know what? This community, Kansas City, I love you, and I'm thankful that I'm going to be here for the next 6 years.
Let's go to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Can you hear me?
We got you.
All right, cool. Hey, Travis, how you doing, man?
What's up, Steve?
Hey, there are a select number of players in this franchise history, Tony Gonzalez being one of them, who are revered by fans. This gives you an opportunity to get there. How much does that mean to you to be able to get your name on that list?
I'm just man, it's everyone's always been trying to compare me to Tony since I got here, just because of the position. And you know what? He's a Hall of Famer, man. And there's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer, is because he did it the right way every single time. You know, he was out here in this community trying to make the community better and trying to show everybody his face, get out from under the face mask, and make a difference. And that's what I'm trying to do every single year. I'm teaming up with Operation Breakthrough on some more things. So we got some news coming for you guys with that. But outside of just being a great competitor, man, I've tried to model my professionalism off of what Tony has already started here. Because I knew it was a model of success. And I can thank Tony and everybody for comparing me to Tony to make me want to up the ante every single time.
Let's go to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Travis, how you doing, man? Congratulations as well. With all the, talk of run it back and everything, and you getting the extension, Chris and Mahomes, I'm just wondering the conversations that you had, being with those guys and knowing that you're going to be with these guys for a long time, just how fortunate do you feel that you've gotten in the position where you have consistency both in the locker room, out in the field, out hanging with those guys? Just how fortunate are you to have that consistency?
Man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. Like I said, the front office, Brett Veach, Coach Reid, Clark Hunt, Mark Donovan, the guys that really put this organization and bring everyone together and get everybody on the same page. We got all the trust in the world that those guys are going to get it done and make it worth our while we're here. And can't thank them enough for the opportunities that we've had up to date. And you know what, we're making our effort every single day to make the best yet to come, man.
Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Trav, congratulations. Something we've seen with the tight end position over the past decade is it grow into this offensive weapon position. And there's other great tight ends in the league, Gronk, Ertz, for example. What's been different about you and set you apart is just the consistency, the 4 years in a row of 1,000 yards or more. What do you think's been the key to that success when it comes to being able to do it every single year?
Well, being very fortunate that I'm on the field, that's the biggest thing, man. I've been very fortunate to have great teammates around me, great coaches to put me in positions to succeed, and then on top of that, great athletic trainers in the trainer room. You can't underestimate or throw them, leave them out of the puzzle, man, because rehab and keeping guys on the field is arguably half the job in the NFL, because we know how physically demanding it is. So it's just I've been very fortunate to have this this circle of success around me, and it just keeps getting better and better, knowing that the front office and Coach Reid are bringing in guys that are going to help us win.
All right, guys, we got our final 4 hands up. Let's go to Karen first. Go ahead, Karen.
Hey, Travis, congratulations. 2 questions. 1, what was it like putting on the pads today, just like riding a bike? And 2, Coach just said new wrinkles being put in. We saw how ingenious you guys were at the Super Bowl. Are you guys going to do even more of that kind of fun stuff this year?
I don't know. It's right now we're in the beginning stages of camp, so we're running a lot of the installs that are kind of like the base packages. So right now it's just it's keying in on what our rules are and everything like that. But it's you never know with this mentality of this offense. I mean, the skill outside at receiver, at running back, it's second to none. So that gives the coaches freedom, especially when you got a quarterback back there that can handle and absorb as much information as you can get them. It's definitely a fortunate situation. It's a never ending circle that just keeps going round and round and getting better and better. And the pads today were fun. It was good to get out there and hit somebody and try and get some fundamentals back down.
Let's go to Tyrann. Go ahead, Tyrann.
Travis, I know this is not your first big money contract, right? So the complacency side of things, you've fought through that, the idea of like getting paid and now, okay, you let down, but a lot of guys are getting paid. Have you guys had discussions? Have you talked to, are you the guy giving everybody directions on how to keep your edge and how to keep that hunger? And just kind of, if you could, then after that, overall, just everybody's back, right? And I know run it back is the theme and everybody likes that, but usually teams that go back to the Super Bowl have some turnover, and maybe some people speculated it's the new guys that don't have a ring that maybe drive that hunger. So could you just tell me why you believe you guys have that hunger and what you've done to tell some of the guys that are coming into those big contracts?
You can see it right away. I mean, we've got a pretty good understanding of how to get there, right? We did it last year. We have great leaders in this locker room, and when I say that, I mean it's every single day. It's not like one day it's somebody else. Every single day we got the same guys leading the charge, and not settling for anything less than what we did last year, or then even more so, ante it up and double down on everything we did last year. So it's a mindset, and it's everyone's just eager to get out there and get to work. And as long as we're working our tails off every single day, we got the players to make plays on Sunday. We just have to put in the work to get down the timing of things, make sure our fundamentals are there, and then just go out there and have fun on Sundays.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Travis. Congratulations on the new deal. I have 2 questions for you. The first is, and you mentioned Clark Hunt's sort of influence and impact on you guys. In terms of handling out these contracts, in terms of keeping the core together, what does it say that since you've been around the organization for 8 years now, what Clark's impact on the franchise has been, particularly the last couple of years in terms of identifying the right guys to put together a championship team? And secondly, you mentioned the idea of obviously wanting to play with Patrick to really thrive and your guys' partnership together. From a mental standpoint, what is it about playing with Patrick that unlocks your game as you sort of see how Patrick thinks about sort of the offense through the field and in the film room?
Well, I'll answer the Clark Hunt question first, man. It's not very fortunate, man. It's not like this in every single organization, every single city. I've heard the stories of how it could get real bad to stories of how it's pretty nice. But I'm happy with where I am because of the guy that's up front leading the charge, and that's Clark Hunt, man. And that the Hunt family and what they've done, bringing in Coach Andy Reid, I thought that was his best move ever in life, was to bring in Andy Reid, man, because what he does to an organization is taking him to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's clear to see his track record and what he's done here, and what he's going to do in the future. And that's the biggest thing is getting the right people in place, and then on top of that, trusting in those people. And I think that's one thing that Clark Hunt has done an unbelievable job of, is he's trusted the people that he has in place, and that's as players as well. And Pat's a special guy out there on the field, and we're seeing it even more and more so. It's all unfolding every single year on what his limits are and what he can and can't do. The can't do's are very quickly starting to get smaller and smaller on the list, man. And it's cool to see him grow. And he's such a competitor that it never stops. And that's the one thing about these practices is that everyone's talking about don't get complacent, man. When you have guys coming out here competing their tails off over 5 yards, over 3 yards, 2 yards in practice, just the type of determination and mentality that brings to every single play, every single down, every single period in practice, all that translates to the game, man. And it's what it does is it allows you to play free, and it allows you to play football that's almost like you're in the backyard playing.
Let's go. Last one, Darren. Go ahead.
Hey, Travis, how you doing?
All right.
So a couple questions for you. One, do you all as players kind of have conversations about how you all can kind of stick around and stay together, knowing that there is a high turnover in the NFL and that you all with new contracts or contracts ending, wanting to stay together, do you all kind of talk about amongst each other how to work that out? And then second, how do you all as leaders hold yourself and teammates accountable? For example, we saw what happened in Seattle with the rookie trying to sneak a female in. Now, I know you all don't stay in a hotel at the moment, but how do you all kind of hold yourself accountable and teammates accountable to make sure that they're doing the proper things and the right things, so situations like what happened in Seattle doesn't arrive here in Kansas City?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is I think we all knew then. We trusted the front office, Coach Brett Veach, Coach Reid, Clark Hunt, all the guys to be able to keep the core. And we trusted that they were going to be able to make sense for all the players, which they did. They held their end of the bargain, and we're very much thankful that we still got the core with us going into this year, and it looks like for a few years ahead as well. In terms of holding each other accountable, man, every office is different, every team is different, the discipline is different leaders. I think we have a very good situation here to where we have the right guys in this facility that are making the right decisions. I firmly believe that. Now, am I going to say that nobody on this squad is going to get COVID? I mean, it's a crazy world right now. You can't predict those kind of things. I just think that, everyone right now, at least here in Kansas City, seems like they're doing the right things because we all got one goal in mind, and that's to play football and play it at a high level every Sunday.
Thank you, Travis. We appreciate it today.
Kansas City, I love y'all, baby.
All right, guys, we got Tyrann coming up next, so hang tight. Ted, we might tilt that camera down just a little bit. Perfect. Hey, Tyrann, can you hear us?
I can, yes.
All right, well, let's get started. Let's go to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, what's up, Tyrann?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, a lot of these college guys now are going to miss their season before they head into the draft and try and make the NFL. I know it was different circumstances, but you missed your last season before preparing for the NFL draft. What sort of challenges did that entail, and what sort of advice, I guess, would you have for the guys that are going to be facing kind of a similar situation now?
Yeah, I think everybody's situation is going to be a little different. Obviously, you have to be in the right kind of attitude. Got to have the right kind of people around you to really make any kind of sound decision at 19, 20, 21 years old. So I'm hoping that those guys have people in their corner that can really guide them and give them the right kind of advice. Whether it be, simply, telling those guys the truth. I feel like some guys have enough tape to where, they don't have to play another season, whereas other guys, kind of need the tape to, get looked at or, even get mentioned, in the next draft class. So, it's unfortunate circumstances. So I'm just hoping that those guys have the right kind of people in their corner so that they'll be able to make the right decision.
Let's go to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Tyrann. Thanks for the time. I wanted to ask you two things. One is just it looked like there was good energy out at practice today. I was just wondering your perspective on that. And also, I mean, in normal times, you guys would be playing games right now, right? Like, is there a way that you can compare where you guys are now compared to, just a year ago or in a normal year?
Yeah, I mean, well, to talk about the energy level, I think that's just the standard, we've tried to set here. Obviously everybody talks about the offense and, what those guys can do. I think defensively, we're just trying to live up to the standard, that we set, last season, and that's showing up, getting to the ball, making plays on the ball, and then kind of uplifting, bringing everybody along with us. I probably say it's probably going to be a little bit tougher for the defenses. We didn't have a spring. And I think defense is a little bit different. You got to kind of get in front of the offense and, you got to kind of have to see the speed. You have to see motions. You have to understand adjustments. Whereas offensive guys can get on routes. They can run routes on air. They can work on their timing. But for us, we got some great coaches. We got great leadership on defense. And, once again, we're highly motivated to pick up where we left off last season, as a defense.
Thank you.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyrann, how you doing today?
Good.
Hey, a couple things. First, is there something you've learned about Travis Kelce that maybe you didn't know from being a teammate of his for a year? And also, first with Mahomes, then Chris Jones, now Travis. Obviously the Chiefs are stepping up financially here, but what can you put your finger on? Why guys want to stay here? What is it about what you guys have going on, other than the rings you guys are going to be wearing here in a few weeks, that makes what guys want to be here?
Yeah, I think Travis is a special talent. He reminds me a lot of Larry Fitzgerald. The competition that he provided for me coming into the league and, me coming to Kansas City, I think Travis gives me the same kind of competition day in and day out. Truly makes me hone in on my craft, makes me focus on the little things. And I think that's the only way you can kind of compete against guys with that kind of, elite ability. I think we're absolutely lucky, very fortunate. We got a lot of selfless guys on this team. A lot of guys that don't necessarily look in their own mirror. It's all about the guys around them. And I think that starts with, great leadership, obviously from Clark Hunt to Coach Reid and, then, your superstar players, Pat Mahomes and Kelce's of the world. Everybody is trying to make everybody better. And so I'll probably say this is a very lucky situation, a very fortunate situation we're in. And I think everybody here is just grateful to really be a part of it.
Let's go to James Palmer. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Tyrann, hope you're good, man. You spend a lot of time studying, tape, and I'm curious what you think about the tight end position with, Travis getting paid, Kittle getting paid, how different the athlete is or how it's used now to when you came into the league. And then you still look at their paydays. Are they, for some reason, still undervalued, as difficult as they are, to what they do for offenses?
I think any team that has a great tight end, especially an athletic one, an elite one, it always provides the offense with an advantage. You think about Travis Kelce and the George Kittles of the world. Every time they line up, you can possibly have a mismatch. And so, I think the teams that have those guys, they appreciate those guys. And, the teams that don't have them, they're trying to find other ways to make up for it. But it's not often you get guys like Kittle, guys like Kelce that can, that can really change the game from the tight end position. Obviously, you think about the Shannon Sharps and the Tony Gonzalez's, but those guys don't come around too often. So I'm excited for those guys. Obviously, it's going to take guys like George Kittle, Travis Kelce to continue to set the standard. So, that position is respected and that position is considered, a valuable position on the offensive side of the ball.
Go to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yes.
Appreciate the time. I'm just wondering, from a physical standpoint with the ramp-up period, where do you compare today's full padded practices to other you've had throughout training camp?
Nobody works as hard as the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll tell you that right now. I say that in a good way. We strain a lot. It's a lot that's on our plate. A lot of our playbook is already in. A lot of those calls are up. So, not only do we have to strain physically, but it's a mental strain. It's a mental grind. And that's what I try to tell the rookies, to obviously not overwhelm themselves. Just try to find a way to fall in love with the grind, fall in love with the process. I think our coaches do a great job of not putting too much pressure on us, allowing us to go out there, with less on our mental, so that way we are able to physically strain ourselves each and every play. But it's my third organization. I don't think anybody works as hard as Andy Reid.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Tyrann. Just wonder if you could describe what your relationship with Steve Spagnuolo has meant to you, and just sort of related to that too. I think we talked one time last year, and I think you used words along the lines of that you think leadership might almost be more important than actually what you do in terms of playing. I just wonder how you've come to that way of thinking.
Yeah, well, I think, obviously, and, not just Coach Spags, I think Coach Merritt, provides a great sense of leadership for us as well, especially our DB room. We're so young back there, and, I think him just keeping us in the right mental, understanding who we are each and every day, setting this table for us. And then Spags, I'm so grateful for him because he pushes every player to the limit, not just myself, not just Chris Jones. It's each and every player that he's trying to get the most out of. And not every coach does that. Not every coach cares that much. And so for us, we understand that we have a guy in our corner that not only is he a great football coach, he understands his players and he understands X's and O's, but, he understands what buttons to push. And, we got a lot of different guys in our room, from Breland to Tyrann Mathieu, and all of us are different, but I think he understands how to reach each and every one of us. And to me, that's way more powerful than a coach teaching you how to play cover two. I think not everybody can teach and reach. So I think he has that in his favor.
All right, guys, we got time for a couple more. We're going to go Pete Sweeney and then Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Tyrann, thanks for taking some time. I was just curious. I saw an exchange between you and Charvarius Ward on social the other day, and it had to do with the Chiefs receivers and just how talented they are, especially with no preseason. What kind of advantage is it for y'all that you have to go against Tyreek and Travis and Sammy and really one of the best units in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's stressful, but, it's our job. I think the competition level is very high. Obviously, we always talk about the standard that we tried to set last season. I think playing against our offense, it only builds us up. It only, gets us to, elevate our standard. Not everybody in the NFL can cover Tyreek Hill. Not everybody can run with Nicole. Not everybody understands Travis Kelce's route concepts and, even Patrick Mahomes. So I think each and every one of us on the defense is getting tested. We're getting challenged. And what other way to prepare for Deshaun Watson than to, and Lamar Jacksons of the world than to Kansas City Chiefs offense. So, I mean, we feel like we're in a very fortunate position. We feel like, obviously the favor is on our side. We just got to be conscious of getting better each and every day. And then understanding, we're competing against our offense. We're not playing against them.
Let's go to Nate Taylor to close it out. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyrann. I have two questions for you. You've gotten to know Tedric Thompson in person a little bit here since he came aboard. Just from watching film of him with the Seahawks and what he can provide with you guys in the immediate, just what are your thoughts on him and being a part of him in the secondary? And my second question is, with the way you understood how camp went last year and sort of the mental back and forth between you being the leader of the secondary and Patrick being the leader of the offense in the backfield, just how much do you think the intensity level and sort of the mental game can both of you all elevate from one another based on what you guys know about your guys' skill set and what you're trying to accomplish on both sides of the football?
Yeah, I think Tedric, well, we call him T2 here, so we give everybody nicknames. But he's a smart player. He's a player that can play both of the safety positions. He understands communication is key from the safety position. And then he can make plays on the ball. He's been showing us his athleticism. It's probably his first time in an Andy Reid type camp. So he's understanding that part of it. Can you repeat that second part of the question, please?
Yeah, just the idea of how does Patrick sort of mentally challenge you, and what's it like to be the leader of the secondary and understanding you guys are obviously preparing one another for the season, but what the mental challenge is on the field given what each guy can do? Yeah,
each and every play we're trying to, stress each other out. We're trying to bring the best out of each other. Obviously, we understand that, there's only so much we can do against Patrick Mahomes until we have to get depth, and not let the ball get thrown over our head. So, and we're trying our best to show him different looks. We're bringing the house at him. We're trying to press on the outside. We're trying to play man-to-man. So I think overall we're just trying to work on things that we know in the back of our mind is going to get all of us better all the way around. So I think Patrick, sets a great standard. We understand as a defense who we're up against, and obviously the weapons that they have on the outside presents a tremendous challenge. But I feel like those guys are constantly getting us better, constantly getting us sharper as well. It's a lot of things that I can do on the defensive side that I can't do with Patrick Mahomes. And so I think just having that kind of understanding, I think it helps me play faster. It helps all of us play faster as a defense.
Tyrann, we appreciate your time today, man. Thank you.
That's it. Thank y'all.
All right, guys, hang tight. We got Tedric coming up next. Hey, Tedric, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Awesome. All right, well, we're ready to get started. We're going to start with Tyrann Petro. Go ahead, Tyrann.
Tedric, can you just kind of compare and contrast, Andy Reid style versus what you've seen in the past? How he's different? What makes him Andy Reid?
The first thing I think about is the camp. Obviously, them boys work in Seattle, where I was from, no doubt, no question about it. I think Andy Reid's camp is just different. You know what I'm saying? From the tempo, from the speed. The offense. You're going against Tyreek Hill. You're going against all receivers who run 4.2s, 4.1s. It feel like, you know what I'm saying, the tempo of this practice is just so up tempo, and you're running from one spot to another. So I think that's the biggest thing, you know what I'm saying. The guys here about their business, they're trying to get a second chip, you know what I'm saying. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just the camp is just the camp is like a workaholic camp, like everybody working.
Let's go to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tedric, welcome to Kansas City. Two questions here for you. Yeah, no problem. Why Kansas City during free agency? Why sign here, first off? And then secondly, how similar is the scheme here to what you played in Seattle, and how does that fit your skill set?
As far as the scheme, they run a little they run some different stuff here than Seattle, you know what I'm saying. They use their safeties a little different and everything like that. Something my brother used to always tell me when I was, going through the free agent process. My brother played in the league for a couple of years, and he used to always tell me that regardless, football is football, you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, football is football. So during like the free agency part, I would just kind of just focus on my rehab and just going wherever God was taking me, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was just all God, to be honest. That's the only way I can really know how to answer the question. It was just, it's where God sent me, you know what I'm saying? I was happy to be here just to know about, you know, obviously T5, and, you know, I've been watching him since college. Everybody know him from things he did at LSU, you know what I'm saying? I was just, you know, excited to be with these group of guys. You know, as soon as I came in, you could just tell off rip, you know, Breezy, T5, everybody, it's about work, you know what I'm saying? Joke around when it's time to joke around, but when we're in that meeting room and we're on the field, you know what I'm saying, it's all work. So, you know, I was excited to be in the group.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tedric, trying to build off of what Herbie asked you, when you look at the collection of the secondary that is your new teammates, just how much have you learned from them in terms of how they compete and how they obviously handle themselves in the film room, and how much that matches your ability and your sort of study habits? And then secondly, being on the field today, first time with guys in the past, just what was the sense you got being alongside guys like Dan and Tyrann to get a feel for what you guys are obviously building towards in September?
As far as like being in the pads, being around the guys, you know what I'm saying, it's another type Andy Reid camp that I'm, you know what I'm saying, getting used to everything. Now, every day I'm getting used to, you know, I'm just soaking up everything. I'm learning stuff every day, you know what I'm saying. I'm, you know, fitting in every single day, you know, just getting used to the atmosphere and just trying to adapt. And, you know, I think as a collective group in the backfield, the thing I've always known for great secondaries, you know, is communication. I think that's the biggest thing. When I'm on the field with T5, he talking every play. He know what the left corner doing. He know what the right corner doing. He know what the left DN doing, what the Mike doing. And the same thing with Dan. And the same thing with Breezy and Mooney. You know what I'm saying? Being new in the defense, you know, by the time I see the formation and everything, one of the corners already communicating with me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing. We all communicating. You know, we all talking. And if I'm confused about something, I'm not going to hesitate to ask, you know, if the coach way over there and I see T5 or Dan right here, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ask Dan in, because they know the whole defense like the back of their hand. So I think communication is like the biggest thing.
Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I was just curious. It sounds like Tyrann Mathieu was an influence for you as you were kind of coming through it. And I was just wondering, why him? Why were you sort of modeling your own maybe career a little bit after him? And then what was it like to finally meet him and now work with him these past couple of days?
Well, I think growing up, you know what I'm saying, I think every kid and, you know, just everybody playing football always like look up to guys. And when I was in high school, I used to look up to a lot of different safeties, you know, obviously E.T., and the Earl Thomas, the Cam Chancellor. And I remember the first time I seen T5 play at LSU, you know, guys who you could tell like love the game, like actually like love the game. And I love the game a lot, bro. I've been playing since I was like 6 or 7 years old. First time I put on pads, I was 7. And you know what I'm saying? I just kind of adapt to the guys that bring that atmosphere and bring that love for the game. And you know, T5 is no different. The same thing with Mooney though. Like when I first like started meeting Mooney and Breezy and Dan and all that, every human being is different or whatever. But at the end of the day, they all love the game. Like genuinely all love the game. So that's what I say about that.
Let's go to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Tedric, hope you're doing well. How quickly did you get that sense, you know, that everybody's talking about the running back tour, especially with Tyrann and his leadership abilities? How quickly did you get the sense that you knew Tyrann was an effective leader in part of this program? And the other question I have for you, you know, facing Russell Wilson in practice, how would that compare to now facing, you know, Patrick Mahomes in practice?
To answer your question about T, I knew it the first day I walked in here, you know, being new, you know, not knowing what the meeting rooms and stuff is like that, you know, I was always, you know, I think because of my mom, the way my mom raised me, I'm always early to something, you know, that's just how my mom is. So I don't know, I don't remember what time the meeting started or nothing like that, but I remember I walked in the meeting probably like 15 minutes early, you know what I'm saying, just to, you know, get used to the playbook, trying to look through the plays and skim through the iPad and everything like that. As soon as I walked in, T was already in there watching film, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of like already gave me an idea of, you know, because like I said earlier, he already know the whole playbook, you know, what everybody got to do, but he's still in there watching film, you know what I'm saying, breaking down tendencies and everything like that. And what you asked me about Russell and Pat?
Ooh. There you go, Harold.
I can't even hear you, bro.
Yeah, going up against Russell in practice and now getting the opportunity to go up against Patrick Mahomes, you know, what's the comparable and contrast with both of those guys? And just, you know, I wouldn't say excited to face Patrick Mahomes in practice, but just relishing that challenge.
They both blessed, you know what I'm saying? God blessed them to the maximum power. That's the one thing I can say, you know what I'm saying? They both extremely good leaders, you know. They obviously MVP, Pat won MVP before. They obviously MVP caliber players, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they just both blessed. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell that they they good, genuine human beings. You know what I'm saying? They good people to be around. You know what I'm saying? When I have a daughter or something like that, like when they get married, I'll be happy if they have somebody like Pat or Russ, you know what I'm saying? So it goes like past the football stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can just tell they just, genuine good human beings.
All right, guys, we got time for a couple more if we got to let them go. Let's go Matt, Derek, and then Darren to close it out. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Tedric, welcome to Kansas City, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
You mentioned, rehabbing the shoulder during the off season. How are you feeling? Is that back to 100%? And, without having any off season or last year ending early, how difficult is it to kind of get back up to speed and get into the flow of things?
I'm 100%. First of all, my shoulder, ever since I had the surgery, every single day I was in rehab. I'm saying, trying to come back. As far as regardless of how much shape you're in, like being in shape and being in football shape is like two different, completely different type things, you know what I'm saying? Especially being in this Andy Reid type camp. So it wasn't a lot of like football specific stuff I could do because I was rehabbing, but every little chance I got, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to do it. But every single day, whether it's a good practice, bad practice, I wake up with a new slate, you know what I'm saying, just try to focus on the next day. Same thing with the periods in practice, good period, bad period, that period is over, move to the next period. So every single day, I know I'm just get better and better, talking to the guys, the communication with the guys, you know what I'm saying, the conditioning, just every part of football, every single day I'm just trying to get better and better.
Okay, go ahead, Darren. Close us out.
Hey, T2, thank you for your time and coming to Kansas City. A couple questions for you. Obviously, coming from Seattle, and you first, when you were drafted, you were playing behind Earl Thomas. Compare and contrast, if you would, Earl Thomas to Tyrann Mathieu. I know you look up to a T5, as you say. And then also, of course, kind of compare the locker room, I guess, and the culture with Pete Carroll, Andy Reid, and then finally, with you coming from Seattle, any advice that you would give, the rookies who, to keep them from making the same mistake the rookie did in Seattle a couple of days ago?
As far as the comparison as T5 and E, the one thing I can compare pop on the top of my mind is how locked in they be. I remember my rookie, I sit right next to ET, and he was locked in. And the same thing with T5, like he locked in. Like that's the two comparisons I can say. As far as like T5 and E, they just super locked in. And then as far as the locker room, one thing I said about that is everybody want to win. Same thing in Seattle, literally everybody want to win. And my rookie and second year in the league, I was playing with Frank. I was playing with Nitty. So I kind of already had I had a relationship with Frank, a good relationship. So him being here and just knowing the type of leader he is, I kind of already knew, or not knew, but I had the expectations of what the locker room was going to be. And it was the same exact thing. Like, we're going to come in, like I said earlier, when it's time to joke around, we go joke around. But when we working, whether that's conditioning, weightlifting, film study, the treatment room, I'm saying everybody going to work. And as far as the other question, to be honest, bro, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I really don't. I don't be on social media. But as far as like rookies and all that, like, I'm saying, just find somebody who you can grab and, I'm saying, somebody that you look up to and just kind of show you the ropes, I'm saying, because coming in your rookie years, it's a lot thrown at you, especially how 2020 been, it's been a little different, but not a little bit, it's been a lot different. And, I'm saying, it's every day is a new challenge. You wake up not knowing what's going to happen. So just find somebody that you can, I'm saying, follow, that you can look up to and take you under your wing and just keep going.
Tedric, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, guys, that is it for today. Tomorrow we'll get you a list here to go for tomorrow. So we'll get you a list that'll give you the players. Hopefully we'll send that out